Okay, we're gonna get started with Jacob Starling from East Carolina. We can just go right to questions. We'll start with Stephen, please.
Jacob, just talk about how important it was to answer back after they put up the 4 spot and you had the big grand slam to answer back in the inning. How crucial was that?
It's huge. They're a good offense. We know that 4 runs wasn't going to beat us, but we knew we had to score a lot of runs. So we were able to get the bases loaded, and then I got to get pitch to hit, and was able to hit it out.
And obviously today, pitching wise, getting the start from Saylor in game 1 and also Eric Ritchie in game 2, like what do those 2 performances mean to you guys? Because y'all knew y'all needed some length on the mound.
Yeah, it's huge. Both those guys, they've had ups and downs all season, and for them to do what they did was just awesome.
Hey, going back to the grand slam, Jacob. So it looked like you hit a chair. It looked pretty evident, but kind of what was your vantage point, and was it frustrating at all to kind of have to wait for the review to officially round the bases?
Yeah, off the bat, I knew I hit it good, but I also knew that the wind was howling in. So, I kind of watched it. I thought it hit a chair in the outfield, and then they went to review it. And then I was, anything can happen after that, but I'm happy they called it a home run.
And lastly, I think y'all are the first team to run through the losers bracket in this tournament and make the championship. And I know the work's not done yet, but what kind of grit does that show from you guys?
It shows a ton of grit. None of the games we played were easy wins. We played an 8-hour game, 5-hour game, 6-hour game, but just shows like how locked in we were every game and all 9 innings, and just shows how tough we are as a whole unit.
Jacob, I'll give you one. So you've got a 3-1 game this morning, and then an offensive show this evening. What does that say about your team and your ability to kind of adapt and adjust?
Yeah, it just shows how many tools we have as a team. We can win a game 3-1. We can win a game 14-7. So it's just important for us to, play good on both sides of the ball, and we can beat anybody.
All right. Anything else? Godwin, Coach, congratulations on the 2 wins today, getting to the championship game. Just get your opening thoughts on today, and then we'll go to questions.
Really tough group. To get down 4 runs, playing a lot of baseball this week. They've spent a lot of time on the field. We showed up and we showed and go this morning, and then we showed and go this afternoon. Got down 4 runs, and they just keep fighting. It's a resilient group. I told them that nobody should ever question their toughness because they're tough as nails.
We'll go to questions. We'll take the first one from Stephen, please.
Cliff, to lose in the way you guys did on Tuesday and to come back, just what does that say about your team? I know you kind of addressed it there, but to be the first team out of the losers bracket to make the championship game in this tournament's history, that's got to say a lot.
Yeah, it does. It says that they're tough, that they stay in the present moment. Very easily could have, lost any of the games that we played after losing game 1. Extra inning games, rain delays, losing leads, having to scratch back. Well, I guess it was a 13-inning game yesterday. You Savage basically having to start. I'm just super proud of me. Justin Wilcoxon catching every inning of every game. Pretty tough guy.
Coach, obviously you knew you were going to have some arms step up. Eric Ritchie in game 2, and then obviously what Garrett Saylor did in game 1.
Garrett Saylor, tremendous. He's been really good when he started for us this year, but that's the best he's ever pitched in his life, and it was unbelievable and well-timed because we were very thin on the mound. And Eric Ritchie's performance is, that's who I gave the shirt to after the game, even though Starling had 5 RBIs and the offense for sure carried us. But at a time where you had to throw the ball over the plate, the wind's blowing out, you got a freshman out there who hasn't pitched a ton. And man, he was awesome. He was really good.
Back to Stephen for the next one, please.
Coach, what can you say about AMAC, who clearly wasn't 100%, but just given 100% of his effort? I mean, just seemingly doing everything he can to help you guys win, battling through that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He had an IV yesterday, could only play for part of the game. And then this morning, his calf, where he fouled a ball off at South Florida, was really hurting him. And I haven't challenged him much in my life, but I was like, hey man, you got to suck it up today. And he said he would. And then he got an IV in between games and then showed up again and played. And he actually looked a lot better in game 2 than he did in game 1 in his face. So I think he's getting better. And just toughed it out, which was awesome.
I got to ask about the pitch clock, the hitter clock situation. Y'all haven't really had an issue with that this year. Is it just being more strict in the conference tournament? What have you seen from that, vantage point?
Well, this is the first time that we've played somewhere that they have it out there. And I'll be quite honest with you. And if somebody gets mad at me, I don't care. I don't know if they can find me. I don't care. But it's very inconsistent the way that sometimes you can see it. Sometimes it's not there. There's no way Wyatt Lunsford Shinkman, he's never been slow. There's no way he had a pitch violation. There's no way they started the clock when they should have started it. Tony Ginn, yes, but not Shinkman. And then Clonch, he was in the box with 10 seconds. It's just, people trying to be seen, I guess.
And then going into tomorrow, Coach, all hands on deck type of deal. I'm sure it'll be that way for whoever wins Tulane Houston. Just your thoughts on tomorrow's matchup and finding enough pitching to get through.
We're going to start root and go from there, see who can go. There'll be some guys that want to pitch. I mean, Danny Bill wanted to pitch again today. He's pitched every day, but we told him he couldn't pitch today. So there'll be some guys that want to go.
Go to the next one from Bubba, please.
Coach, after you answered offensively there earlier was the Starling, the 4 spot, and then you continued to tack on as the game went along. So just talk about the offensive approach and the way you knew after a pitcher's doing game 1, you were likely going to have to swing the bats, and you did just that. Yeah,
it was an offensive day. Wind was blowing out, and also the umpire had a tight zone, which is fine. It was tight for both sides, so had to throw the ball over the middle of the plate, and we felt like if we got into their bullpen that we could do some damage, and we did.
Coach, will we see you in gold tomorrow?
We will be in gold tomorrow. Yep, that was my decision. So we're going to be in gold again tomorrow.
All right.
Believe in gold. Go Pirates.
Right.
Thanks, Coach.
South Florida head coach Billy Mohl. Coach, we just get your thoughts on a long day here at the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long day. First game was obviously a tight knit one. Both games well pitched, and then the second one it was kind of a little bit of a slugfest, and we kind of ran out of juice on the mound. And East Carolina is the champion of this league for a reason. They just wear you down, and kudos to them for the win.
Okay, if you have questions from the Zoom, we'll start with Stephen, please.
Coach, y'all just grabbed the 4-0 lead in the second game, and we're close to getting out of that inning. If y'all could have got out of that inning, not getting up the grand slam, like how much of a momentum swing do you think that was?
I thought, obviously that's a big momentum swing. You go up 4-0 feeling good, then you give up a grand slam to tie it. But then I felt like we grabbed the momentum back when we put up 3, right after that. So, but yeah, I mean, that was a big at bat by their leadoff guy and got them right back in the game with 1 swing.
Coach, did not getting the result in game 1 affect game 2 at all, or did you go in with 2 separate? Was it 2 separate approaches going in?
No, I mean, we went with Nolan Hootie, who had success against them at our place when he started against them. I thought he did an incredible job holding them at bay, and I thought we had it set up pretty good with 2 of our weekend starters available in game 2, and Ethan Brown, who is coming off the IL, and he gave us everything he had. He just it just wasn't his day today.
Good. Another from Stephen, please.
Coach, what made Saylor so effective in game 1? I know y'all had seen him a couple times before. Just what made him so effective against you guys?
It was sinkers in and sliders away. I mean, the ball was moving. He was keeping us off balance. It was any pitch, any count. He did a really good job. I mean, that was the performance of the tournament from what I've seen. I mean, that was really good stuff.
But you had in the second game here 8 hits in the first 3 innings. I think only 2 thereafter, both in the 9th. Did anything that ECU did, on the mound, change there that was causing you problems?
ECU probably got the deepest bullpen in the league. I'm going to tip my hat to them. They kept coming at us, different looks, left-handed, right-handed, overhand curveballs, sliders, cutters. they kept us off balance. I'm going to tip my hat to them. They did a great job.
And did you learn anything about your team this week that maybe you didn't already know?
You know, I'm just proud of the way they came out, you know, the first two games. You know, it's not been the year we've wanted to have. Obviously the pitching has been up and down due to injuries and other things, but to watch those guys come out and compete in that first game against ECU and win it in extras and then play UCF, get in the winners bracket. You saw offensively, you saw kind of the young talent that kind of excites me moving forward. But at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done, but I'm proud. There's a lot of guys in that locker room that probably won't coach anymore. And this is always a tough day as a coach.
Coach, thank you for your time today and a long day. Appreciate it. And
Thank
this
you,
week.
guys.
All right.